Arsenal are urgently looking for a new defender worth just £8 million to solve their problem at the back. And Arteta sets asking price for Star at £100,000 a week amid interest from PL side. Stay with me until the end to not miss any updates. But before that, if you are also passionate about Arsenal, subscribe to the channel now and stay up to date with everything that happens behind the scenes of the biggest team in the Premier League. And without further ado, let's get to today's news. Arsenal are now missing the perfect opportunity to solve key issue for just £8 million. Arsenal are in the market for a defender in the January transfer window, as an injury crisis at the back has made an addition necessary. Oleksandr Zinchenko missed last week's defeat to Fulham. Jurrien Timber is out for the long term and Takehiro Tomiyasu is at the Asia Cup, potentially leaving centre-back Jakub Kiwior as the only player who can fill in at left-back available right now. Jorrel Hato of Ajax has been linked, with Arsenal seemingly targeting a left-sided defender to boost their depth, but their financial fair play struggles will make a big money transfer difficult to complete. Smart scouting could allow Arsenal to land a bargain solution to what is a major squad issue in the January window, but they are now missing a potentially ideal option in Boca Juniors defender Valentin Barco. Valentin Barco looks set for Brighton transfer despite Arsenal crisis. Barco has emerged as one of the top young prospects in South American football, having helped Boca Juniors reach the final of the Copa Libertadores. The 19-year-old is a left-back who has also played on the wing and even in midfield roles for Boca, and has excelled in what was an underwhelming squad, as the Buenos Aires Giants finished in 7th place last year. Fabrizio Romano has now revealed that Barco is of great interest to Brighton, who look set to activate his release clause in the coming weeks, which stands at around £8 million. Brighton's success with transfers from South America saw them land previous Arsenal target Moises Caicedo for a low fee before landing a British record sale this summer, and Barco could follow a similar route if he ends up at the Amex Stadium this summer. Barco could have been ideal for Mikel Arteta. Barco's speed and versatility could have seen him provide cover for both Zinchenko and Gabriel Martinelli, and at 19, he has plenty of room to develop as a high-potential youngster. Given his £8 million release clause, he could have arrived for a bargain fee which would have not affected Arsenal's financial fair play difficulties. Without sales, big transfers are highly unlikely in the winter window. Even if Barco failed to settle, Arsenal would likely have been able to recover that fee in the summer given his age. If the teenager succeeds at Brighton, it seems inevitable that his value will significantly increase, and Arsenal may end up looking back on this deal with some regret as it could have solved a short-term issue and been of long-term benefit. Arsenal now set asking price for £100,000 a week Star amid interest from PL side. Arsenal striker Nketiah has been linked with a move away from the club in the January transfer window. The 24-year-old is one of Arsenal's top scorers this season, but there have been repeated calls for Mikel Arteta to upgrade his options in attack as they have struggled in front of goal. Crystal Palace recently inquired about the England international, but an approach was knocked back. However, this stance now appears to have changed. Arsenal have been linked with Dominic Solanke and Ivan Toney, but financial fair play restrictions will only allow them to make a move if they are able to make a significant sale, and Nketiah could be a player who makes way for one of them. A report from the Daily Star has now revealed that Arsenal will demand a fee of around £30 million for Nketiah this month, but they will only sell if they can line up a deal for a replacement attacker. Nketiah is highly regarded at the Emirates, and the report also claims that higher-ups at Arsenal believe he is still capable of further improvement, and would want to insert a sell-on clause into any deal. As he is a product of Arsenal's youth academy, any fee received for Nketiah would be pure profit in terms of FFP, and would give the club more wiggle room in terms of their transfer budget for the winter window. Nketiah is on a long-term contract on a salary of £100,000 per week, and this may lower any transfer fee as clubs such as Crystal Palace who hold an interest may struggle to agree personal terms with him. How much should Arsenal sell Nketiah for? If Arteta does change his stance and decides to sell Nketiah, he should not be sold so easily. Arteta has heavily leaned on him this season whilst Gabriel Jesus has suffered injuries and a dip in form, and any replacement is likely to cost a lot more than £30 million. If Arsenal were to gamble on an unknown quantity for a lower fee such as Marcos Leonardo, who recently joined Benfica, then Nketiah would have funded such a deal. However, Bournemouth and Brentford are said to value Solanke and Toney at over £50 million and £100 million respectively, meaning that selling Nketiah for a fraction of that fee would not help Arsenal secure either target, and this will certainly be taken into consideration if Arsenal receive a bid. And to finish, Paul Merson reacts to Arsenal transfer situation involving £30 million star, says it's horrible. Paul Merson says the transfer situation involving Aaron Ramsdale at Arsenal is horrible, amid suggestions he could leave during the January window. Weeks into the current Premier League season, Mikel Arteta decided to displace Aaron Ramsdale as his number one and replace him with David Raya, who is on loan from Brentford. That call caused a huge stir, and it still is a talking point to this day, with Paul Merson stating that he simply now has to fight for his place at Arsenal, as he told Soccer Saturday on Sky Sports, the 6th of January, 24 at 2:10 p.m. The one positive Paul Merson can draw out of this current Aaron Ramsdale position is that he is still young, and because he is a goalkeeper, he will only get better. The 25-year-old still has the best years ahead of him, but that doesn't mean that he isn't harming the present. Previously, the £30 million Arsenal signing would be a shoo-in to make Gareth Southgate's England squad and be part of the three-man goalkeeping setup. That's not nailed on now, especially with Euro 2024 around the corner, so if it makes the player a little nervous, then you can't blame him. Aaron Ramsdale's Arsenal future. Goalkeeper, he signed the contract, it's the way it rolls, said Merson. It's horrible, but that's the way it is. He signed a contract, they brought in another goalie, and now he, Raya, is number one at the moment, and he, Ramsdale, has to fight for his place. It's as simple as that. When you sign these contracts for £150,000 a week, that's just the way it goes. You can't just go, so I am not in the team, so I am leaving and playing somewhere else. Horrible position for goalkeepers. So, for me, he will have to fight for his place. The only positive I will say at the moment: be patient, and he is only young. Goalkeepers, the only position where the older you get, the better you get. Aaron Ramsdale needs to be selfish. That's what goalkeepers of the past at Arsenal have done. Been selfish and then got rewarded for it. Emiliano Martinez moved to Aston Villa, became a key player, earned caps for Argentina, won the World Cup, helped Villa back to Europe, and is now sitting second in the Premier League table with Unai Emery. Bernd Leno is another who departed, this time for Fulham during the summer of 2022. He proceeded to help them to a top 10 finish and was one of the best keepers in the league last season. So, the grass is greener if Ramsdale decides to head for the exit door this month. Otherwise, he might just find himself staying at home for the Euros. Well, folks, those were today's news. If you enjoyed the video and want to stay informed about everything happening with our beloved team, you know what to do. Subscribe to the channel now and hit the bell so you won't miss any updates. Thanks for joining us, and see you in the next video.